been phenomenal, but winning races isn't easy, and it's just been a fantastic first half of the year. So we've got to try and keep that momentum going now. It's good to see Mark as well making progress in the last couple of races. So hopefully the guys can be competitive certainly next weekend in Silverstone.
Now, how worried are you about the fact that the technical brains behind your outfit is about to take to the Goodwood Hill with some rain clouds coming? You cannot afford Adrian Newey to injure himself.
Could it be any worse? No, I mean, Adrian, we trust him. He's got a good track record. He's only crashed about 8 times. But no, he drove here last year. He did very well, and yeah, he's going to have a run in the Formula 1 car very, very shortly.
Brilliant. He could design them, but he can't really drive them. But I'm sure he'll have a go today. Just to get a bit techie for a moment, what was it about your performance in Valencia that meant that all the other cars were struggling on their tyres, battling with each other, yet Sebastian was able to maintain his pace at the front and just keep that gap at all times to the guys behind him?
Well, he manages to look after the tyres very well, and the tyres this year are so sensitive, and he seems to have a very good feel to be able to not abuse the tyre, and sometimes it's not about winning by half a lap, it's about making sure that you don't overstress the car, the tyre, to make sure that you've got enough left at the end of the race, and he understood that really well, and it was a really intelligent race from him, last weekend in Valencia.
We've come up with a great idea. You have to give him a 3-race holiday. Don't run the car, and then we'll pick things up again in 3 races time when maybe the championship's a little bit closer, because we know that he can miss 3 races and still be in the lead at the moment.
No, we've got to keep our heads down. I mean, the points are deceptive. 25 points for a win. A lead like we've got can disappear very, very quickly. So, Lewis and Jensen, they're going to be pushing hard. Fernando's going to be pushing hard. And we've got to keep the momentum going. We've got to keep getting development to the car and making sure that we stay ahead of the opposition.
Okay, well, I'm sure you guys have got lots of questions for Christian. So if you put your hands up, you can shout out your question. I'll repeat it on the microphone. He has the utmost respect for him and for Red Bull. And he knows Vettel is one of the up-and-coming greats. It's not a short question. Bear with us. Okay, so the question was, why are they struggling with the curves? I suppose particularly Mark Webber's car, and poor old Mark. Yeah, there was a question in there at the end. We were a long way getting there, but it was worth it in the end. It was a good question. The curves has been a problem for the whole team, but particularly for Mark, who actually had a catalogue of issues over the Valencia weekend, didn't he? How can you go about sorting out this curves problem?
Well, you watching the race of the weekend. He had a perfect race of the curves of the weekend.
Well, yeah, but he had brake problems and other bits and pieces, didn't he? I wasn't watching, to be fair. I was just having a drink out the back. So.
No, the curves has been a challenge simply because of where it is on our car, and it's contributing just by where it is on the car to the car going quicker, and it's created some challenges to cool the system. But the last 2 races we made some good steps, and we've got another step coming for Silverstone. So hopefully it shouldn't be a major issue for the rest of the season.
Okay, let's hope it is, and we're going to have a proper title battle. Oh, and also it's a pleasure, and he'd like a photo as well, Christian, so no worries. Yes, mate. Great question. So the question was, what was it like last year winning both the Drivers' and the Constructors' Championship? Because, I mean, that is the holy grail in Formula 1, doing the clean sweep. What was it like for you personally as the man at the helm of the team?
It was fantastic. It was a realisation of a lot of hard work, and for the team to have achieved what we did in what was in reality a pretty short space of time. First of all, to do it in Brazil was, to get the constructors, and we pretty much consoled ourselves at that stage that, it looked like Fernando got a commanding lead going into that last race that, the constructors was going to have to do for that year. We'd go there and give it our best, and so really we went to Abu Dhabi with lowish expectations. It was still a long shot for Seb and also Mark at that stage, but Sebastian just had the most amazing weekend there, and everything came right for him. He had a lot of bad luck earlier in the year, and then when he crossed the line and did it was just the most amazing feeling, and it was great, to have Dietrich Mateschitz there, who's put so much into the team as well, to see it all come together. But it was just an absolutely amazing feeling, and one that every member of our team is determined to try and feel again.
We were hoping to hear from Dietrich actually after the win, and Eddie Jordan walked over and he went, "This man never speaks to the media." And then he spoke to him for 5 minutes and went, "Thank you, Dietrich." And that was it. There was no interview, sadly, but we would have loved to hear from him, because he's really invested in this team, hasn't he? And he obviously clearly loves Formula One and knows that it's a great thing, not just for Red Bull as a brand, but also, you know, a good thing to get someone like Sebastian and bring him through the ranks.
Eddie Jordan or Dietrich?
Dietrich.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's phenomenal what he's done, the vision that he's had, and you know, Sebastian has been with Red Bull since he was 12 years of age in karting, and he's come through the ranks, and there's several other drivers that, you know, owe their opportunities in Formula One to Red Bull, but you know, he's a fan of the sport, number one, and he's a fan of the racing, and you know, he's always encouraged us to race, and that's why we allow the two drivers, you know, to go wheel to wheel. They got a bit lumpy last year at times, but you know, that's why we allowed them to race all the way to the end of the year.
Great. I think one last question before we have to go. Yes, madam, what would you like to ask Kristen? Okay, are you available for a drink tonight, or maybe dinner? No, I'm joking. I'm joking. The question was, what do you prefer, the new circuits or the old circuits?
I think there's a great mix of them at the moment. I mean, some of the classic, I mean, Silverstone is, for me, it's still the best circuit in the world for the drivers. You know, it's still, you know, a massive challenge.
Yeah, that's worth a round of applause, isn't it?
And then we've got some great other circuits. You know, Singapore, the night race there is a challenge. You know, Monaco is another challenge for the drivers. Japan, actually, Suzuka is one of the big challenges. So you've got to have that combination of new tracks and old tracks, and I think the balance is just about right at the moment.
And then the brilliant unpredictability of Valencia. I mean, what an amazing... Yeah. Anyway, where were we? No, listen, guys, it's great to have you all here. Thank you so much for turning up, and thank you so much for your support of Formula One. If only there was a pool here, we could go and have one of your famous pool parties and throw the boys in there as well. That would be good, wouldn't it?
Who likes seeing Mark throw Jake in?
Who likes seeing Christian go in with EJ? All right, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and thank the man who is currently helping to lead Red Bull to both the Drivers' and the Constructors' Championship for a second successive season, Christian Horner.